Welcome to the FinTalk Short Pros AI, where we spotlight entrepreneurs revolutionizing financial services and technology transforming how businesses get done. For those joining us for the first time, we are Pros AI and we specialize in helping fintech and other tech businesses scale revenue and reduce operational costs through AI tools and strategic partnerships. If you're looking to take your business to the next level, stick around. And if you want a free growth consultation, please drop us the word DM, growth in the DMs, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Our guest today, I'm very pleased to introduce Dr. Greg McLeod, President and CEO and founder of Elite Traders University. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Osman. It's a real privilege to be here. So glad to be sharing with you today.
Let's start with your story. I mean, tell our audience who is Dr. Gregory McLeod, and what is the origin story of Elite Traders University? How did you get here?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, my getting started a long time ago, about 30 years ago, in fact. I started as a school teacher in South Central LA. I taught middle school and high school. I left working with the kids. I worked in really a gang-infested, the blue versus red kind of environment. I grew up in. I went back to help, and I found out that the gangbangers are paying more attention to the other drug dealers. Counting $100 bills in my back of my classroom, right? And and I couldn't really make a change. And plus, I had a wife and children, and I really wasn't making any money. So I tried a lot of different things. I tried Amway and multi-level marketing, and tried tutoring and do these other things, and really wasn't making it. And then what happened was I stumbled upon some trading education and on TV, and I actually borrowed $1,000. I turned to $3,000 trading soybeans, and that was my very first taste of the markets. And then I said I really like working with the kids, but I could also trade too. So that's what I did. I was trading. I was teaching kids how to trade. We had a stock market challenge. And so I told the kids, I go, look, I'll teach you how to make money, the legal way. And if you listen to my English lesson for the first few hours, first few minutes, right? And so they would, and then so they, once that stock market challenges was a really great thing, but the administration and the school really didn't want to see that kind of stuff. So I said, you know what, I could probably do a lot better if I could work from the outside, trade full time, and then go back and help, right? He who has the gold makes the rules. If you have no gold, you can't make any rules, right? And so I was working for one of the I started trading on my own, really, trading with Refco back in 2004, and then Refco went out of business and they took client money, and then I wound up getting a job at one of the white labels of Refco, which was Forex Capital Markets, and so I became a currency analyst. And I developed a trading system, a high frequency trading system called Pip and Run, a scalping system, which wasn't very good. It wasn't well received because spreads are so wide back in the early 2000s. You had like 8 pip spreads in pound yen, but I'm scalping pound yen because the spreads are wide, but if the average daily range is 180 pips, if I can grab 10 over and over again repeatedly, then that started scalping. When I worked for the firm, one of my bosses would say, hey, let's trade together, and we're going to trade Aussie yen, and we're going to use 2-hour and 4-hour charts, and we're going to hold this for a very long time. And so I was sitting there, right? And it went up. I put too large a position on, and it went down. And I'm like, it went down. Oh my goodness. It went up. I made it was like up $100. So I clicked it out. I closed it out. My boss goes, because our platform made a lot of noise. Greg, did you close that trade out? I go, yeah, sir, I closed it out. Well, you got to let your profits run. You got to, keep your, let your profits run. You're taking profits too soon. Okay, I'll get back in. So
Right.
and I got back in and it dropped. I go, oh man, and it went up again, and I took another one, and
Ah.
and then I said, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this. It went up and down, up and down, up and down. So by the end
Right.
of the day, I was up like $700, back in 2006, right? So I go,
Right.
okay. And so I closed up my computer, went home, come back to
Mhm.
work. Damn, what's going on over what's going on? Well, the boss of the trade, they have Bank of Japan,
Right.
the intervention and stopped us all out. Well, Greg, sorry about getting you involved in that trade of ours on Aussie. Yeah, and it dropped overnight. We lost money. I go, yeah, he did, huh? I didn't. I was fat, flat, and happy, and I had
Right.
discovered something because the brokerage wanted you to buy and hold, and I didn't want
Right.
to buy it. I didn't want to buy and hold. I wanted to,
Right.
I took my profits and run. I go hit and run, pip
Right.
and run, and that's how
Right.
Pip and Run was born. Okay,
Right.
so now our brokerage becomes they want to be a non-dealing desk, right? Dealing desk versus non-dealing desk for your audience. That the brokerage industry is like a casino, right?
Mhm.
And so they make more money off your losses than your gains, right? When a
Right.
client loses, they get to keep the profits. So,
Mhm.
and then we went to a non-dealing desk model. Then now we have to rely on volume. So now all of a sudden, Greg, that short-term scalping system you have, can we kind of like do that thing? It's like, yeah, because we're not, because we can't take money on losses. So, and we had a lot of
Right.
million-dollar clients that wouldn't trade. They would put money in the account and they wouldn't trade. And
Mhm.
and this is 2007. Like, well, Greg, and it wasn't like YouTube or anything like that. Well, if you could
Mhm.
stream your desktop and people could
Right.
look at what you do, and that
Mhm.
that short-term scalping thing, we can get some volume going, right? And then these high net worth clients using this active trader platform,
Mhm.
they had to have like $50,000 to open up a trading account, right? To get this
Mhm.
really tight spread. So they gave you,
Right.
razor almost raw spreads, like
Mhm.
maybe like back then. 1 pip spread in the euro was like, oh my God, when the spread was
Uh-huh.
like 3 and 4, right? You put
Uh-huh.
50,000 in to get that type of spread. So
Mhm.
I would advertise the active trader platform. I was like the infomercial,
Right.
fast execution, fast execution, tight spreads. The active trader platform is a professional trading platform for traders worldwide.
Uh-huh.
www.activetrader.com. So I would come
Yeah.
on with Pip and Run show and click the button and make money, right? And then people go, "Oh wow, make money, great!" So they're watching and getting inspired. But my
Yeah.
system was like 95% right. So what's that
Uh-huh.
doing to a company that what happened? One day I had like the euro, I had like 600 people online. And I go, and we have something in Pip and Run called a predictive function, which
Mhm.
looks for price anomalies, and we're
Mhm.
able to get in 4 or 5 bars ahead of time. In fact, you
Right.
saw my trading record where I
Mhm.
did that.
Yeah.
$100 to $1,000, right? It was no with
Yeah.
like 2 losses or something. Well,
Yeah.
it was happening back then, right? And so I had 600 people online with $1 million accounts. I go, the euro is going to move right about now. Let's do it. Boom, big bright candle. Everyone's happy. All the people in the chat box. Oh my God, I made so much money. It's so fast. This is great, Greg.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then ring, ring, ring. What's going on over there? We're Bank of America. We make a market in the euro. And we got taken for $20 million. What's going on over there? Well, Greg is doing whatever Greg's doing, stop him. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Greg. Hey, what's going on? I'm going to get a promotion. I'm going to get a corner office. This is going to be great. Right? Greg, come step in the office. Oh, sign this. Oh, yeah, my promotion form. You're fired. What?
What?
Fired for what? Did I steal? Did I lie? Did just get your crap and get up out of here? So I'm like going, oh, okay. Well, hey, I can trade. I got a system. I
Right.
wasn't really trading for myself that much because I was doing all this demo flexing for the clients, getting them to
Right.
trade, right? So
Uh-huh.
I go home and I start trading live. Ring, ring, ring. Who's this? Hey, we're your clients. Used to trade with you. The new guy sucks. They say you're on vacation. When are you coming back? I'm not on vacation. I mean, all right. Well, can you help us? No, I signed something. I can't trade for you.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
well, can you teach us what you know? You teach? This is 2014. Well,
Right.
teach. How much will you pay me? Well, we'll pay you $50,000 and fly to Hawaii. Mm.
Whoa.
Oh,
That was
let me
tempting.
ask my wife. My wife goes, "Go, you go, go, go." So I go to Hawaii and I teach
Right.
people how to trade, and that became the core of Elite. I go, this is 2014. I could sell education online and make money.
Wow.
Hmm. I
Hmm.
think okay, so that's Elite Traders was born from that.
Uh-huh.
Those same videos. They used to people. Those videos are like old, Greg. Oh, the Bible's old too, but that does make it. It still has good stuff in it, right? So that's
Wow.
why I've been helping thousands of traders around the world learn this my proprietary system. So yeah, that's
That's pretty amazing. I mean, just reflecting on your journey, all these, trying to do it at school, the system wasn't really allowing you there. You broke out, tried to do something even at the bank, and the system wasn't really working in your favor. And you decided, I'm going to take this chance. But then your clients are following you, and boom, you have Elite Traders University as a concept. Now, let's dive into what you're working on right now. Tell us about, what you're doing, what's in your current venture, what are you most excited about in your business today?
well, most excited about is the school taking my students to the next level and
Mm.
expanding it worldwide, having a worldwide reach, expanding outside the U.S. Most of my clients are there. They're either U.S. or they're in Australia, New Zealand. So expanding our marketing effort to reach more people.
Right.
We know what's going on right now in the U.S. We have we have a shutdown, a government shutdown where
Yes.
people are don't have I mean, I went to the airport. I was traveling, visiting some friends, and no one was getting paid. The air traffic controllers weren't getting paid. The security people were getting paid. The Secret Service people are not getting paid. There's so many
Mm.
people who are reliant on the government or relying on
Right.
a job. And then back
Mm.
in 2020, it was COVID. I had doctors, I had people who wouldn't take the shot, or whose business were like a gym or working with people or massage therapists or whatever. And if they didn't know how to trade, they wouldn't be able to feed their family. Before it was like, oh, I'm just learning. You buy a course and you put it on your shelf and you forget about it. No, this was like, I gotta learn this because I just got to eat.
Yeah.
As we say
Right.
in the
Right.
U.S., right? So, it's becoming more as in fact, AI is replacing people on their jobs. I'm
Right.
getting a lot of like copywriters and all kinds of people who, or they've been retired, they have their job shut down. We just got what 400, 800 Starbucks just closed. There's closing companies and factories. So I
Mhm.
really looked at as a vision. I saw this vision back in '05 that was going to create a school to help people be professional traders because that doesn't require drop shipping. It doesn't require inventory. It doesn't require employees. It doesn't require all kinds of licenses.
Right.
So helping people in this, because it's just going to get worse. Where hundreds of
Right.
thousands of jobs being lost to AI, and I
Mhm.
think that's Elite Traders University and our system, I think, is positioned at the right time to help people,
Right.
uh, right? And so so that's that, and our AI initiatives as
Mhm.
well. But my
Right.
thing is, I believe in teaching a person how to fish first, right? They learn the skill. Because if you become reliant on the government, you rely on technology, rely on software, well then if the software breaks, you're in a worse position. So I
Right.
believe that even before we have our sovereign edge technologies uh, system and the Dominion framework, which is an AI based system
Right.
that allows people to take control of their. But I teach people how to trade first,
Right.
and that way they're not dependent on the technology. So anything can change, right? I have a one of my students is working on the disruptive model because he's a mathematician. He says large language models are about to fall apart. And it's like,
Mhm.
wow, and he has the alternative for that. And so we're investing in that. So we're really excited about that.
Right.
And he's bringing it to medicine, medical diagnostics
Right.
called Chiron. And so it's a powerful system for that. He's, we're generating capital to fund his project.
Right.
And the people have ideas for projects. In
Right.
fact, many of my students, maybe trading is not their first love, but they've used, I had one guy made 8.9 million using our
Mhm.
system to trade.
Right.
He took a small account, scaled it up, and bought a server farm. Well, he was buying server farm in
Mhm.
2018 in Sweden. And so,
Mhm.
servers in play right now, with all the AI, right?
Right.
But you
Wow.
but you can use,
Right.
if trading is, if you have a way, if you want to raise money,
Mhm.
people learning my system and raising funds, it's just it's incredible for them to do the things that they, other, you know, people won't fund or don't understand the concept, but it's going to
Right.
be a very powerful system. So empowering people,
Mhm.
in this new AI economy
Right.
is.
Right. And if can you maybe walk us through the model? How does it work? Maybe for our audience, people who are listening who would want to join your platform, want to learn a bit more. How does it work? If you walk us maybe end to end, when somebody comes to your platform, what should they expect?
Oh, you could expect a very robust experience. I was
Mhm.
a school teacher, so I taught school from sixth grade all the way up to college. So I understand how to teach people, and I also understand how to trade. As I said, they will say that people who can't teach, who people can't do teach. Well, I can do teach. I can teach and trade. So I'm like a Reese's peanut butter cup. I got chocolate, I got peanut butter. It makes a it makes a great cookie, right?
Right.
So we have a three-step process for walking people through from the professional trading in 90 days using a proprietary method or learning accelerated technology. What we do is we start first of all after we have video modules which form the foundation of the education process and the ebook, and we have also a community. So we have a way for different modalities to learn. You can learn by reading, you can learn by watching the video, you can learn by being part of our group coaching session weekly, 2 hours. You can learn with a private session with me once a month, right? And this all is done in a 12-month process. But the foundation is we start with a simulation. The simulation is stage one. Stage one is we use a simulator to actually trade and get immediate feedback. And the whole goal is to hit a 90% win rate in simulation for 90 days with a drawdown no more than 5%. That's the KPI. So we're data driven in our process. Now, after stage one, we take it to stage two. Stage two is a demo account,
Right.
$10,000 demo. The goal is to double that account with a drawdown no more than 5% with an 85% win rate. We really specify win percentage. We're not
Right.
into the old school, hey, if you lose like 10 trades and win three, you're going, and well, 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. We specialize in high win rates, low drawdown. And
Right.
so after stage two, you double that account. Stage three is you take a small live account, take five hundred
Right.
dollars or less, and you can
Mhm.
double and triple that. That's the challenge that you saw, and
Mhm.
so and make a withdrawal, right? They'll double. They get a habit of pulling that money, turning that money into real money, right? So we're building unconscious competency through spaced repetition, doing the same thing
Right.
over and over again, and with fake money, and then
Right.
building more confidence in the live market with fake money, and then using real money with the real market, right? And now you're
Right.
ready for stage four, which is prop trading. And we have some prop trading partners we put you with, and we've got guys with Apex with 4, 5, 6 accounts. They can scale those accounts,
Right.
use copygram or some type of copy software, and they can
Mhm.
control $1 million, $2 million, and but start small, small
Yeah.
beginnings, and
Mhm.
then because that's how I when I was going through this whole Amway trying to find a way to trade, I opened up
Right.
the Bible. I think
Mhm.
God help me. I don't know what to do. The parable of the talents was there,
Right.
staring me in the face, right? The
Uh-huh.
parable of the talents, the story where a man goes off, he gives money to three
Yes.
servants, he gives
Right.
one to one guy, two the other, and five the other, and they
Yeah.
traded. The word traded is in the
It,
Bible. The
it,
word trade, right?
yes.
Took
Yes.
two and made two more. That's 100% return on investment. Okay,
Right.
take five and five more. It's 100%.
Right.
And the one guy, he buried it. And the master came home and said, "You wicked, lazy servant. You could have at least put it in the bank and got
Right.
interest. So I'm
Right.
like going, well, putting it in the bank is the least thing I can do. This is circa 1993. What's trading, right?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
Dow Jones Industrial Average is at 700.
Mhm.
American, there was American Exchange, and there was no
Right.
NASDAQ when I was looking at this stuff.
Uh-huh.
So,
And Dr. Greg, if you think through maybe the last 6 to 12 months, what can you say have been your biggest wins or breakthroughs that you've experienced?
oh, biggest breakthrough. This trading gold has been a fantastic boon. You know, we've probably 300, 400% in gold, which is incredible. I had a student who he just posted to me yesterday, and he actually took an account from $875 to 12,000 in in 2 days, which is
Wow.
yeah, it was just incredible that he did that. And I got a screenshot here. Yeah, but yeah, I said, "Oof." Well, with wait a minute, 875. Well, I remember he had started with 4,000. It's like, what happened? He goes, well, I got into drawdown, and then no, I had to go back to basics,
Basics.
and then he turned it around.
Mm.
So to go from $875 to
Yeah.
$12,000, it's an
That's
incredible.
yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's an incredible run, right?
Right.
But that's the thing about the pip and run system, that what is about getting into the flow of the system, that or the flow of market trend
Right.
scalping, compounding, and you're able to compound very quickly,
Mm.
and not have to wait. I said, well, why buy and hold where you can pip and run, right?
Mm.
But
You're right.
the whole Dominion, the what we call it, the Dominion framework, it helps people see trading opportunities ahead of time. It's almost like seeing the code in the Matrix. You're like Neo.
Right.
I'm Morpheus, and you're Neo. If you would come to me, and I help you not just see, oh, this moving average crosses here or this. No, we look at market structure and cycles, looking how
Right.
things have moved over time using sacred math. We can forecast with a high degree of accuracy where price is going to go, and then just ride that move. So
And
that's a huge move there.
amazing. That's pretty amazing in terms of the achievement. And how do you generally acquire your students? Do they come to you? Do they look for you? How do you what's your outreach in terms of getting to your students?
Well, Osman, as you would imagine, with this type of results that we've had for students for the past 10 years since 2014, we've
Right.
had word of mouth is we have a stream of people coming in through word of mouth, and sometimes we
Right.
have to turn people away, because we want to work with a small group of people to really get them up and going through that process in 90 days. But we do, our YouTube channel is a great source of leads,
Right.
and that,
Mhm.
and also we have a great email marketing list that give us leads as well.
Right.
Um, but we're really focusing on developing that core of our 1,000 traders. We're almost at that number where we can start scaling and getting a very good. Our broker is Ox Securities, and they I'm looking for people that can do volume. We do like
Right.
$1 billion worth of volume. The more volume you have, Osman, of course,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
lower your transaction costs goes, right? So having people blow up and disappear is not what I want. I want to, my, my mission is to help people and to help them succeed and help them, but also the more that I can bring that can trade like me, we can
Right.
lower our transaction costs, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Right.
and that way
Right.
we're taking less risk because guess what? Well, if we have tighter spreads, and we
Mhm.
get really tight, super tight spreads and better
Mhm.
pricing from the broker because we're
Right.
doing more volume, then it's a win-win for the broker, win-win for us. And so I'm looking for people that are able to do that kind of volume.
That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense in terms of the volume and the scale, and also makes it safe. In terms of, and you touched about this briefly, with AI and all that. In terms of the industry trends that you are seeing, I mean, what are the trends that you're seeing in Forex trading education space right now, whether it's just in education or just Forex in general, especially with all the uncertainty that we are seeing, all the, the volatility in the markets. What kind of trends are you seeing at the moment?
Well, I'm seeing there is more volatility. Anytime this is Trump 2.0.
Right.
He tweets. He has a greater access to data to Truth Social and Twitter
Right.
and different types of news items, and he's very pro crypto. All
Mhm.
right. In fact, our wire system, our Fed wire system, uses Ripple. It uses XRP. And
Mhm.
it was a June 14th. I think is on his birthday. He got that switch over. So the move into crypto digital assets is going to continue. And then the countries that are adversarial to the United States, like Russia, China, they're going
Right.
to continue moving to gold. So
Mhm.
gold and we're going to see whether that alternative currency, the BRICS currency, is going to affect trade flows.
Right.
Um, so looking at that, it will be a tradable asset. It'll be a floating asset that you can trade on a trading platform. That'll be
Right.
something that we could actually uh, be something that we could uh, uh, see more of too. But I see, as long as we have central banks,
Mhm.
maybe the U.S. continue to weaponize the U.S. dollar against its, perceived enemies, not allies too. But we're
Yeah.
going to continue to see, continued volatility, and volatility is the wind in our sails, right? Too much
Right.
volatility is like a hurricane. We just get, but we need movement. We need this stuff. Oh, it's so unstable, uncertainty. We thrive on uncertainty.
In,
Don't be a
yeah.
baby. Suck it up. Stop
Right.
crowing in your oatmeal. Okay, toughen
Right.
up, right? Because that's
Right.
what we need, right? You know,
Yeah.
if everything is equilibrium, then guess what? We Nothing moves, and
Nothing
nothing,
moves. There's,
right?
yeah, there's no opportunities to trade. And you touched briefly on AI. How is that affecting trading at the moment?
Well, you gotta understand that the large language models are programmed by people, right?
Mhm.
And so the garbage in, garbage out.
Mhm.
If you don't have the people who program it, the
Right.
program is going to really magnify the patterns that already exist, which
Mhm.
actually I think is making trading a lot more easier. You don't have a lot of random, you know, it's following more seasonal patterns. We're seeing more seasonalities. We're seeing more adherence to Fibonacci levels, quarter line levels, pivot points, all the tech. Because what they did is they took all the recorded information and then dumped it into a large language model. Now the market is more logical,
Uh,
than because about 80% of all traders in, like, I think Tokyo it's all AI driven, right?
yes.
So everything follows the rules. And then you see, okay, there's a holiday coming up. Well, guess what? The liquidity just dropped, right? Or you see, it's a certain time at 9:30. We're going to see all this stuff start to occur
Yeah.
where it's a lot more rhythmical, right?
Mm.
But you have to have an edge because the market it does not reward averages. The average trader loses. 90% of all traders lose. So if you do
Yeah.
what everyone else uses, if you every advertised system, I use
Mhm.
ICT and I use this and I use that. I don't mean to knock them. I'm sure they win, but the average trader loses. So unless you have an edge, something that is not publicly available,
Yeah.
I basically modeled my system after Jim Simmons, the Medallion Fund,
Mhm.
the whole sovereign edge technology system that we have and the Dominion framework.
Mhm.
It's proprietary. You got to sign an NDA. If you join, once you learn our process, you sign an NDA, a
Okay.
non-disclosure,
Uh-huh.
non-compete, and what that does, it keeps the system robust. I've been using the same system for 20 years. right? And people normally say, well, sometimes market
Yeah.
volatility and changes over time will cause your system to break down. It's like, no, because if you publicize it and you give it
Yeah.
to every single person, of course it's not
Right.
going to work, right? The market rewards individuality and it
Right.
rewards having an edge. That's why it's called sovereign edge. We have
Right.
the edge, and the
Yeah.
edge is a unique advantage over the rest of the market that the market is not aware of or they don't know. And we just
Yeah.
exploit that over and over again.
And that's clearly an edge that you have since you've been using the same trading system for the last 20 years. It's working. Looking ahead, where do you want to take Elite Traders University? What's your growth, ambitions in the next 12 to 24 months?
Well, definitely like to put it on the scale on the trajectory of $100 million company.
Mhm.
And with our various advances in technology and education, um, getting into schools, we really want to get into schools to give kids. A lot of people are don't want to have children,
Right.
because they can't afford them,
Hmm.
and it's like, well, gee, if you can press the button and make $1,000 a day, you can afford all
Right.
the kids you want, right? My kids talk about, I want to have 8 kids, 9 kids, like going, why?
Yeah.
Because they know their daddy is a millionaire, and then they can trade too. They trade themselves. They got
Right.
in their wallets, they be buying Nvidia, like you stocks. Come on,
Yeah.
they buy stocks. They
Right.
rebel. They're rebellious, right? Instead of like coloring their hair blue and putting a nose ring in, no, like we're gonna buy stocks, Dad. He's like, going,
That's
okay.
amazing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I have
That's
identical twins, and they're 22, Kira and Krista. And I have
right.
my oldest daughter, who's really the inspiration for me trading. Her name is Alexa. And
Oh,
she
that's
was born in 97. So I use a lot of
wow.
97s in my marketing because it was baby beans and teens, Novi beans in 1996, right?
That's pretty
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Bringing all the family into, I mean, that's pretty amazing. As you're saying, this is also something that young people actually need to have these ambitions to learn things that actually make them money in the right way. In terms of scaling, you have those ambitions. Is there anything that is standing in between you and those goals that you've achieved? What are the challenges that you see?
Challenges, I would call them challenges. I guess that they just are things where you have the marketplace is a very crowded place, as you may know, and
Right,
being able and people's attention span is lower. There's a lower amount of trust. They've been
right.
scammed.
Mhm.
People spend a lot of money developing some serious scams that have taken people, even my own people. Like, why you know me? I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm a Wall Street analyst, right?
Right,
I remember, why are you? Well, I'm so ashamed because why, right? Why? So
right.
getting our message through all the to cut through all the noise. There's so many voices out there who are they're average. They're teaching average stuff. They're taking generic stuff and teaching it, and they're creating large Discord groups and things like that. And I said, well, okay, you're in this Discord group. Yeah, it was free, but who's making any money in there? Oh, well, the guy, he's really good. Yeah, but can he teach you how to be good too? See, my people are
Yeah,
good. I've got
yeah.
millionaires, and I got millionaire students in my group. In fact, that the screenshot I just posted in there, where this
Right.
guy took eight. Look, you see it, 875 to 13,000, right?
In
That's
2 days.
that's my
Right,
student. He
right,
retired early, and he
right.
actually got a he lives in the Dominican Republic now. He's got a penthouse overlooking the beach. It's like, I've got people. You judge a tree by its fruit, and my
Right.
whole idea is I don't sleep until I make sure my students look. I'm drawing this out for you. You can see it. Pull the trigger on the trade.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And Dr. Greg, I know you probably need to run and continue with your trading, but is there anything else that you would like our audience to take from this session today?
Yeah, that I to really don't give up.
Mhm.
But judge a tree by its fruit. Do your research. Find someone who has a trading record, who has helped people. Look at the people. seeing people say, "Oh, well, yeah, I had a great experience, and I really think I learned a lot." It's like you want to see people who have actually made it with that. You know that you want. Well, I write a lot of. I'm probably the top 10% of Google reviewers. I review every restaurant because I lost so
Wow.
many restaurants, favorite restaurants during COVID. And I
Mhm.
said, you know what? Not just giving them a tip, but writing a good review, taking pictures of the food. And so,
Right.
I mean, I just did that, and all of a sudden, you're the top 10% in the world. I'm like, what? Really? I got a million people who were like watching my. So I had no clue. I said, maybe I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah.
But uh, but you look at reviews, and I know some of them can be fake and stuff like that. But if you judge a tree by its fruit, then
Right.
and then be persistent and don't give up. You could
Right.
do it. And if I could do it, a kid from South Central LA, and you can do it too. I believe in you. Find someone who believes in you, who's not this does not look at you as a customer and a new acquisition. Click, return on investment or return on ad spend. You want
Right.
someone that my people are friends. I fly to different states and cities, and you know I have family. My people, Pip and Run and Bleachers University, we are a family, and you want to
Right.
find it where you feel like you're family and you're making money, and
Right.
and we also
And
have.
and
Go ahead.
yeah, no, I was going to say, and where can our viewers then learn more about Elite Traders University, about Pip and Run, and connect with you?
Well, we have a very special for your audience, for watching here and being here. Thank you for the honor to do that. They can
Right.
go over to our school site, or actually pipandrun.com, right?
Right.
Pipandrun.com. If you go to pipandrun.com, there's
Mhm.
also there's a free school community link there.
Mhm.
Just click that, and you can you'll have access to probably about $10,000 worth of courses on risk management, courses on Forex foundations, courses. We also have a strategy, the opening range breakout strategy done by my students. I take my top students who have made millions of dollars and have them create a course. And so
Mhm.
their courses are there as well. So they go to the school, pipandrun.com, and then there's a free ETU school community there that they can do. It's a 7-day free trial, right? And
Right.
then they have access. But
That's amazing. I'm sure our audience would love to take that opportunity, and especially as you're saying, there's many jobs being lost at the moment. People are looking for alternative ways of earning a living. That's a fantastic offer for our audience right there. Um, Thank you all for tuning in. If you found this episode as insightful as we did, please subscribe, share it with people, especially people who are looking for alternative, ways of earning a living. People who would want to try the trading. There is a fantastic offer on just as you've had, and you can also find more episodes on and other resources on our website, on our YouTube channel, Spotify, and LinkedIn. Dr. Gregory, thank you so much for sharing those insights. And to everyone tuning in, we'll be back again next week with another entrepreneur shaping the financial services. And until then, keep pushing. And as Dr. Greg said, don't give up. Thank you, Dr. Greg.
thank you, Osman. God bless.